After being killed by the god of death in the underworld, a man was reborn as a high school student on Earth. He thought he could enjoy a wonderful life with his memories, but the school bully suddenly came over. The pig's ass scuffed his shoes. In parallel. At that moment, a memory crystal was suddenly drilled into his mind. It turned out that this high school student had been suffering from bullying before. He was often tortured by the school bully. In order to reverse the other's life, Choi grabbed a nearby bench and smashed the bully to the ground. This instantly made the students next to him look down. He couldn't imagine that the weakling who was once beaten to a dog had become so powerful today. He thought that the school bully would not dare to mess with his business, but he did not expect to wait until the next day, at dinner. The school bully came towards him. They're not going to let it go. When Choi saw this, he couldn't stand it, picked up the ramen and poured it on his head. The school bully was completely humiliated. I didn't realize that the school bully had turned into a madman after that. That night, he ambushed Choi's path. He picked up a brick and smashed it. But that's not all. The school bully lost his mind and smashed him to death. When Choi woke up, he went back to the underworld. Now he has used up his 4 rebirths. If he can't reverse the life of a dying person in the next 8 rebirths, he will be sent to the 18th floor of hell by the god of death. The god of death wants him to make good use of the chance to change his life in the next rebirths. Then he shot him, without hesitation. When Choi was reborn on Earth, he heard a piercing sound of sharpening knives in his ears, and his limbs were also firmly tied up before he could react. The criminals took a drill and prepared to blow out his eyeballs. Ball, oh my god, first aid. But the thugs didn't ask any questions, seeing that this guy is so funny. The boss immediately picked up a hammer and smashed it. Just when Choi thought he would be hard to escape from death, the host's memory instantly appeared in his mind. It turns out that this body was once a top assassin, specializing in killing targets for his boss. However, in a moment of inadvertence, he found out that his boss often beat up his girlfriend, so he decided to take the woman and run away. Finally, he stole $10 billion from his boss, but when he was about to meet up with the woman, he was suddenly caught by his boss's men. After learning all this, Choi instantly became a top assassin with extraordinary skills. With all his muscles, he easily killed everyone there. Finally, he rode his motorcycle to a rooftop parking lot. Under the watchful eyes of his minions, he stepped on the gas and jumped down from a 100-meter-high building. He landed in the pool downstairs and escaped without a hitch. Soon after, Choi came to appear based on his memories. The boss's woman was waiting for him. The moment he saw Choi, she jumped at him, and then asked Choi that 10 billion were the super happy pay. Did not expect that just after he finished the boss's woman suddenly raised a pistol. When Choi woke up again to the police. Death mocked him as a fool hard to escape from the killers surrounded. But in the end, he was killed by the woman he loved. Choi didn't say anything after hearing that, because only he knew that the $10 million was not on the boat, but hidden somewhere else. Now he's the only one who knows about the $10 billion. He can use his next rebirth to take the money away, to get rid of the Grim Reaper once and for all. As the Grim Reaper's pistol was raised, Choi was reborn for the 6th time. This time he found himself a prisoner. It turns out that in this life, he was a fighter. Because of his family's difficulties, he took in 2 pairs to cover for a rich kid. That's why he was sentenced to 2 years in prison. I thought that, after 2 years in prison, and taking away the $10 billion hidden in the ceremony, his family would return to normal life. But I didn't expect that night he was suddenly assassinated by someone else. It turned out to be the same assassin that the rich kid had paid to kill him. So before Choi could enjoy his life, he lost a lot of blood and ended his life. When he woke up, he was in front of the Grim Reaper in the underworld, as the Grim Reaper pulled out his gun again and sent him back to Earth.